Okay, class, what I'm focusing on today is adding and subtracting polynomials, but to be specific, I want to talk about this in applications. So the only distinction here is that it's really a word problem. So when I say applications, you can think of it as word problems. And then I'll talk about the more basic case in a separate video. But in this case, you have to read information. So let's go through here and read. The perimeter of a triangle is 39x minus 7. Two of the sides have the following length, a 9x and a 10x plus 1. What is the length of the third side? Well, the key is to draw. So whenever possible, you want to draw something. And to me, I see the word triangle. I see the word perimeter. I think we all can agree that we can just go draw a triangle. Now, the difficulty here is to identify what means what. So it says the perimeter is 39x minus 7. So let me make a little note here. The perimeter is 39x minus 7. P stands for perimeter, so keep that one in mind. Two of the sides have the following lengths. Okay, so I'm just going to pick two sides. I'm going to call this one 9x, and I'm going to call this one 10x plus 1. They say, what is the length of the third side? This part here is a question mark. Usually we don't write question marks in math. I mean, you can think of it as a question mark, but what we do normally is we put in another variable, like a y. So now I have to relate this information with this information. Well, in case you forgot, the perimeter of a triangle is equal to the first side plus the second side plus the third side. So I'm getting a little advanced in the thinking here, but I want you to understand why I'm coming up with this formula. And if you remember correctly, you just add up three sides, but you have to set up. So we call this setup. You set up the equation that puts all this information together. And that is, we're going to say the perimeter of the triangle is 39x minus 7. It's supposed to equal side 1, which is 10x plus 1, plus side 2, which is 9x, plus the third side, which I'm going to call y. And this is important in our thinking. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to isolate for the third side. So we call that solving for the third side, or the y. So we solve for the third side, which is really the y. Now watch what I do here, how I do this. The way it works is I rewrite this problem and I think about it step by step. So I write down 39x minus 7 equals 10x plus 1 plus 9x plus y. And now I want to move everything here on the right side of the equal sign to the left side so I can get y by itself. So the strategy is somewhat simple, but execution has to be clear. So we're going to move the numbers first. I prefer to move numbers first, constant terms. So I'm going to move my constant term here. I'm going to move a constant term here. And what that does is that makes this 0. And I like that. I also want to combine, well, let's just do it step by step. So let's just do the subtraction and we'll get 39x minus 8 equals 10x. Just got to wait here for the application. 10x plus 9x plus y. Now I look for like terms. It's a good strategy when they're on one side of the equal sign. So remember there's an equal sign here, and when you've got terms that are the same, you can combine them. So 10x plus 9x is really meaning you're adding up 19x. Okay, so that's what we say. 10 plus 9 is 19. It's the x term. And you have a plus y. You still have this situation. Now, being careful, you want to get rid of this 19x and bring it to the other side. Well, the best way is to make it 0, and the best way to make a 19x 0 is to subtract 19x. So I subtract 19x on one side, but whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. Like that. And then this is great because it gets rid of it to a 0, and that leaves me just the y. That's all that's left is this y. But on this side, 39x minus 19x will be 20x minus 8. I'll just make that clear. That's an 8. All right. Now, when you look at this, this is the answer to what you want. Because let's go back here a little bit. Y was the third side here, and that's what we're after. So we say and we answer the question. We say the third side is 20x minus 8. And that's the solution. And we've answered the question. Now remember, whenever they're asking for other sides, they want it in terms of the x. So even though we could say in the very beginning that the third side is y, that doesn't help us with all the information. So remember to do it in terms of x. I hope that helps out, and thanks for watching.